going on YouTube? Is Mr. Bobby 8706, and I'm about to do something that I wish somebody would have done before I bought my kayak and added my little attachments to it. So I'm just gonna go over the couple things that I added to it, which were the only things I wanted to add to it, and it might help you out in putting your kayak together, piecing it together like I did. So first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and go over the depth finder, because this is probably the most complicated one that I did. So I'm gonna let you know that I got the Humminbird 170. I don't have the actual face of it, but this is the mount where it goes. Basically what I did was I found the perfect spot. I just sat on my kayak from right here and I found the perfect spot that would best fit the depth finder, so it'd be easy to view and easy to access. So I chose this part because basically this I don't know, it looked kind of like a little place where a cup can go. This flat surface was perfect for the base. Obviously, as you can see, it fits perfectly, and this wasn't gonna work. This wasn't gonna work because it'd be too close. I didn't want it to get too wet. So on top was where I chose to put it, and it's worked out very well for me. If you have this same model, the Pescador 12 foot, this is probably where you'd want to put it as well. The transducer, I mounted it inside because obviously going through waves and putting a piece of 2x4 with it on the back isn't gonna work for me. So I mounted it right there. The way I did it was I used marine goop. I'll go grab it in a minute, but what I did was I put Play-Doh on the edges of it just so that obviously it's not there anymore, but I put the Play-Dohs on the edges so that the goop wouldn't run up when I'm putting it underneath it. When I'm putting the goop down there. And what I did was I put the transducer on it. The way I did it though was, say for instance this is the goop, you put the back on it first and then you run it to the front so that it doesn't get any air bubbles. Also, whenever you're putting the goop, you're gonna run it like this. Like say this is the triangle that you're putting it in, you run the goop like this, sideways, back and forth, back and forth. Make sure there's no air bubbles between the lines you're putting, and then run it all the way up to here, boom, fill it up, and then you're gonna put the transducer, for instance, it would go like this, and you put it like that. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna have to sit there for about 5 minutes with your hand on it so that the goop kind of hardens up and the transducer won't sink through the goop. Okay, that's basically how I did it, and it works very well. It works fine. It reads the depth. The only thing you're not gonna get from this reading is gonna be the temperature, which I don't really care about because I got a hand. I could just put it in the water. This right here, this was a little addition of mine. I just did this actually a few days ago. I thought about it. Whenever I'm going BTB, I don't really want to put my fish on a stringer because of the sharks and whatnot that are out there. So I made this little thing. I cut one of these, just like a 24 pack holder for beer, and I basically cut off one end of it and the bottom, so it just left me with these three. It looks like a trifold board, and I just gooped it to the bottom just like I did with the transducer. I used that same marine goop, and this thing holds like a champ. Like is not going anywhere, trust me. And I left this so that whenever I put I'm not gonna put ice in here. Obviously I don't want a hole full of water after I'm done, but I'm gonna put some water bottles that are frozen, and whatever water wants to run underneath there whenever I'm washing it. I need to a little bit because I kind of overlooked that. When I came back yesterday I was pretty tired, so I just kind of chunked it in the garage. But yeah, those were my intentions. And also I put fish in here and they wound up on the back of the kayak, so if I ever put fish in here, they won't go back. This is gonna stop them. So yeah. Also with this depth finder, what I had to do in the mounting hole, obviously you can see there's a hole in here where the wires go. You get one of these little, hold on, let me go get it. Okay, here we go. This is the marine goop I was talking about, but first let me get to this. This is the drill bit that I used. It's a 3/4 inch. Basically it goes down in here. Before you mount this, actually you keep this off, and then you find the hole where the center is gonna go, and then you just drill through there, and then that's gonna be the perfect hole for the wires to go in there. 3/4 inch. You could probably find this at Home Depot or whatever. And this is the marine goop that I was talking about. This is the one that I say you just run it sideways, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And this is also what I put right here. I ran it over here and put it right there, planted it on top of there. Then I had to let it set. Yeah, it takes a little bit of while, but you just got to be patient. All right, that goes over the depth finder. Oh, the battery, obviously. Let me get you in there. This is how the battery goes. This is where I keep it. I keep it inside this Bud Light soft ice chest. This is where I keep all my excess wires. Everything, obviously, as you can see these run through here, run down into the bag, coil it up, and then the transducer, obviously, and then the rest of the wires go to this. So this is the battery wire. This is a transducer wire. Another thing with this, what I noticed is this top little prong gets very corroded. I'm assuming because of the electrical charge, and yeah, you want to be careful with that, because I just had to take it back to Academy because this thing broke off in the actual face of the depth finder, and yeah, it's pretty annoying. This is the second time that's happened, so I'd be careful with that. See, it's already corroding. This is the first time I used it, and I'm gonna get in there with some sandpaper or something like that and get it out. But anyway, that's besides the point. This is the battery that I got. It's a deer feeder battery. I got it from Academy. It's like 22 bucks. And this is actually, I bought this at AutoZone where I work at. This, you need one of these. This is gonna be a fuse, an inline fuse. It's a 1 amp fuse. Look. Splash proof fuse holder. Basically, it's a 1 amp fuse. That's all you need just to protect your electronics, and you just connect that to the end of the positive power. Put a little crimp right here, connect this inline fuse, and then obviously you're gonna need to get something to clip onto these. I have these little deals right here. You can get them also at AutoZone. They're not very hard to come by. You can probably find them at Lowe's too. But yeah, and then they just go right there on the battery terminal like so. And this battery lasts a good little while. You know, this is the main part that you need. Everything else really comes with it, and you need to add a terminal to this side and to this side. And that's pretty much how that goes. This goes in here. Very simple. I always thought having a depth finder on a kayak was pretty complicated, but I come to find out it's pretty simple. So I hope that makes it a lot easier. And these mounting bolts for this, you just I don't know if you can see, but you just hit them up with the washers on the bottom with a nut, and you just figure out the drill bit size. I'm not sure what size the drill bit is, but you just run it through there before you actually drill the hole into the kayak. Make sure it goes through the base plate before you do it, and you'll be fine. Next, let me go over the Scotty mounts. Scotty mounts are very durable, very handy. Flip them this way and that. You know, you can add your little arm or whatever you want to. I don't need all that stuff. I just need this. But yeah, this is very simple to mount as well. What I did again, basically, was sat right here and figured out where it would be easily accessible before it would flip my kayak. You know, this is one of them, and this is the other one right here. Very easy to mount. You know, before you mount them, I would suggest getting in your kayak, taking it out, and figuring out where you can get to before you actually get unstable. That's what I did. I didn't have these the first time I went out. I wanted to figure out the stability issues and how I would keep my ground. So I figured out that it was easy to mount it right here, and then also right here. And with this kayak, I also have one right here, and a flesh mount, which is I really like it. I troll with that sometimes. But yeah, I put one right here, and obviously you can mount it without rivets with bolts. You could do it right here, and then you could do the same thing right here. So that's another thing that you wanna consider whenever you're doing whenever you're mounting these things, is how you can get your hand underneath the kayak so you could actually hold the nut in the washer. But these are very easy to mount. Obviously you just get these mounts. This thing comes off. I actually have one right here by itself. And what you do is you get these. I went and got these bolts from Lowe's. Very just hex bolts, nothing fancy, with these lock washers and the nut. You don't need, I used to think that you need like to put silicone and all that stuff. Like silicones, or they also have, they're like plastic rivets that these screws can screw into. Unnecessary. It's not necessary. I used to think like if you flip your kayak, the water's gonna leak through. Trust me, the water's gonna leak in through a lot of other places that are worse than this. Like this is your least bit of concern. Obviously there's not going to be very much water getting in through this if I'm flipped over. First of all, when I flip over, I'm going to be flipped over for a few seconds. Second of all, the hole that the time that the accessibility the water has to these holes is very minimal. So don't even worry about silicone in these things or anything like that. If you want to, just to be on the safe side, you can, but to be honest, it's not very necessary. I wish I would have known that before, because I was like stressing about it, but I'm just letting you know, if you have any doubt in your mind, that it's not gonna matter. Trust me, just put easy, just washer, nut, and you're good. Basically the same thing that goes with the mounting this. You get a drill bit, figure out what goes through the hole easily of the Scotty mount, and then figure out your point. What I do, mount it, drill one hole, put the screw in there, and keep the other ones in place, and then do the same thing with this one. Boom, put the screw in, like hold it there, boom, drill this one, put the screw in, so that your Scotty mount is gonna be there, your holes won't be off, you know what I mean? It's just my method of doing it. Same thing with this one. Figure out where you're gonna put it, drill a hole, put the screw, and you can pivot it you can kind of manipulate it still if you want to, and then boom, put your other one. I usually across these, put that one in, boom, do the same thing, drill, screw. Then obviously you get in there and you can see them. It's not very hard to access. And yeah, that's a view from the back. That's where the transducer goes and everything. And this is the back of my kayak. And yeah, that's pretty much how that goes. Finally, last but not least, probably the one of the most useful accessories on a kayak is gonna be your anchor trolley. This thing, I ran it from here, not all the way to the back, but from here to the middle. I put one in the middle, and then my last one goes up here, almost to the tip of the nose, not all the way up, because I don't know. Also, you wanna consider your accessibility here too, because whenever I bought the packet at Academy, you get 3 or 5 eyelets, but you only get 4 rivets. So I use the rivets on this because I can't access it with my hand through here. So I use the rivets on here, and I use the rivets on here because I can't get my hand from there all the way over here to hold the nut or whatever. So the only one that I use nuts and bolts on were this one, because I could actually put my hand in here. See, if you take a look over here, see the nuts and the bolts, and I could just grab my hand in here and screw these with the other hand. So this, I didn't have to go buy any extra rivets. That kind of worked out for me. So if you actually do need to buy rivets, extra ones, this is actually the rivet gun that you use to put them in. I wish someone would have told me this too, because I actually went to look for a rivet gun. I mean, it's pretty common sense what a rivet gun is, kind of. But if you don't really know what they are, this is what they look like. Help you a little bit. You can get them at Lowe's or something. That's where I got those. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to figure out, it should tell on the pack, I think it was like a 1/4 inch or something like that, a 1/4 inch drill bit. You drill it, hold the eyelid, drill one, put the rivet in. Don't tighten the rivet yet, but just so that the holes won't be off, you put the rivet there, and then pivot this one whichever way you want it, and then drill that hole. Put the rivet in, boom, 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 boom. You're done with that one. Go on to the next one. I ran it to the side. I tried to see where the line wouldn't get in my way, so put it right here. Boom, 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 same thing. Then I ran it all the way up here. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. And then after this, you get this line. I actually have one of these steel rings on it, so I can put a D clip, or I can tie off like directly. This also, you get it at Lowe's. It's like $1 or something like that. and makes your anchoring a lot easier. Keeps you from flipping whenever the current's a certain way, and yeah, whenever it shifts, you can just pull it up, you can pull it down. It goes that way, it goes this way. Pretty very useful actually. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much how I rigged up my kayak, and those are the accessories that I have on it. I'm missing a pedal right there. I need to get another one. And oh yeah, these D clips, I already told y'all about these on the, if you've seen one of my other videos, it was a very brief overview of my kayak. I love my kayak, by the way. If you're on a budget, go ahead and get one of these because these are bomb. Yeah, these are my D clips. Like I said, D clip from Lowe's. All this is from Lowe's. Telephone cord. You got these crimps, and then you get these cuffs from Lara as well. These are the parts that go on your actual reels or your rods, and this is obviously staged right there on the handle. It's my gear, my handy gear, and yeah, let me give you a rundown. Boom, my lovely kayak. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps out a lot. Have any questions, just comment right there below. See those that area that says post a comment? Yeah, you can post it down there and I'll let you know what's going on. I'll give you some answers. Alright, peace. I was looking through a Home Depot bag and I found those steel crimps that I'm talking about for the rod leashes. This is what they look like. Easy to find over there at Home Depot. Not easy to find, but you'll find them. And yeah, this is just what they look like. That's 18 to 10 steel crimps. That's what the package looks like. Hopefully that helps too. Oh, women's volleyball, man. America is tapping it. Oh, 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 look at that. Skills. Jeez. Oh, that's one of the few points, but you saw those skills. Later.